You want the truth? Most people are cowards. They wake up every day knowing they hate their life, knowing they're broke, tired, weak, and miserable, and they do nothing about it. They scroll on their phones, watch bullshit videos, eat garbage food, and repeat the same weak routines, hoping that somehow, magically, life will change. But here's the reality. Nothing changes until you do. The world doesn't give a fuck about how you feel. It doesn't care that you're tired, depressed, heartbroken, or broke. It only responds to actions. So if you're not winning, it's not because of your situation. It's because of your choices. You're either building a legacy or wasting your existence. There's no in between. You were not put on this earth to be average. You were not born to watch other men live your dream while you sit and complain. Allah didn't create you to live weak, lazy, and meaningless. You've been blessed with life, breath, time, and you dare waste that scrolling and sleeping? That's not just a waste. That's disrespectful. You want to change your life? Then shut up and suffer. Suffer in the gym. Suffer at work. Suffer in silence while you grind for the life you know you deserve. Because guess what? The pain of discipline is far lighter than the pain of regret. You don't want to be that guy 10 years from now, looking back, wishing you had done something. You don't want to be old and broke, bitter and invisible, forgotten by the world because you were too soft to rise. You need to make a decision today, right now. Either you keep doing what weak men do, making excuses, blaming others, waiting for motivation, or you wake the fuck up and decide that no matter how hard it gets, you will not stop. You will work while they sleep. You will train while they party. You will study while they waste time. And even when no one believes in you, you will believe in yourself because Allah gave you strength, gave you a brain, gave you a heart. Now it's on you to use it. Every fucking day, no one's going to hand you a dream life. You build it. You take the pain, the rejection, the loneliness, and you turn it into fuel. You sacrifice comfort. You embrace the grind. You master your emotions, your body, your mind. Stop chasing women, dopamine, and distractions. Women come when you've built yourself. Respect comes when you've proven yourself. Focus on your mission. Focus on stacking skills, stacking cash, building your network, and becoming the kind of man who's so disciplined and valuable that the world can't ignore him. And I'm not saying it'll be easy. It's going to fucking hurt. You're going to fail, lose sleep, feel doubt, and get betrayed. Good. Let it build you. Let it mold you into the monster that never quits. Be the man who keeps showing up when others fold. Be the man who doesn't care if people laugh, if people doubt, if people walk away, because their opinion is irrelevant to your destiny. You've got 24 hours in a day. Same as every other man who's winning. You can either waste those hours pretending tomorrow will save you, or you can use them like a weapon and carve your legacy with blood, sweat, faith, and fire. You wake up every day in a world that's trying to make you soft, trying to make you believe that comfort is the goal and struggle is something to avoid. But real men, real warriors, know the truth. Comfort kills. And the second you stop chasing growth and start chasing ease, you begin dying slowly. Look around you. Look at the people who laugh when you try something new, who whisper when you talk about your goals. Those same people are terrified, not of your failure, but of your fucking success. Because when you succeed, when you start rising, when you become the man you were born to be, you remind them of their own laziness, their own fear, their own lack of effort. That's why they try to pull you down. But that's not your problem. Your mission is not to be understood by everyone. Your mission is not to fit in. Your mission is to become undeniable, to build yourself so strong in body, mind, and purpose that no one can question your value. And that starts with effort. Ruthless, consistent, aggressive effort. Not once a week. Not when you feel like it. Every single fucking day. You work when you're tired. You train when you're sore. You learn when you're confused. You push when you're broken. Because the grind is not about motivation. It's about principle. It's about commitment to your future self. You must burn the weak version of you to the ground. The one who scrolls endlessly. The one who delays. The one who waits. That version dies today. From now on, you move with purpose, you rise early, you plan your day, you put your time where your mouth is. No more talking, no more daydreaming. Execution, discipline. You don't need applause, you don't need permission, you need results, you need pain. Pain is the price of growth. You lift heavier, you study longer, you focus harder. Every rep in the gym, every hour on your craft, every choice to delay pleasure, that's you building a life no one can take from you. And while others are out numbing their pain with bullshit, alcohol, porn, junk food, gossip, you feed your pain into the fire of your ambition. And yes, you will be alone sometimes. Yes, it will be uncomfortable. Yes, people will misunderstand you, call you arrogant, tell you you've changed. Good. You're supposed to fucking change. You're supposed to elevate. You were not born to be liked. You were born to lead, to protect, to inspire. And while you're building, never forget Allah sees everything. Every sacrifice, every tear, every time you chose discipline over temptation. You don't need to become some god. You need to fear and obey the one true God and become the strongest version of the man he created you to be. You were given life for a reason. Don't waste it chasing temporary comfort or fake validation. Chase purpose. Chase strength. Chase freedom. And the truth is, freedom has a cost. It demands sacrifice. The kind of sacrifice that most men aren't willing to give, but you are. Because you're tired of average. Tired of watching others win. Tired of being the guy with potential and no results. You want change? Then earn it. Shut out the noise. Work in silence. Move like a machine. Let your life become a statement. A testament to what happens when a man goes all in. Because at the end of the day, there is no cheat code, no shortcut, no secret. Just grind, faith, discipline, and time. The world belongs to those who take it. So take it. You know what people don't want to talk about? The fucking struggle. Everyone wants to talk about the Bugattis, the mansions, the lifestyle, but they don't want to talk about the years of hell it took to get there. You think Andrew Tate was just handed success? You think he woke up rich, respected, free? No. That man was forged in fire. He was broke, sleeping in a freezing apartment in Luton, eating canned beans because that's all he could afford, hustling in the dark when no one gave a single fuck about him. He was rejected, laughed at, ridiculed, silenced, banned, attacked. He trained when he was exhausted. He worked when no one believed. He sacrificed friends, comfort, safety, and even his own damn peace of mind. The man went from scraping coins to becoming a world champion, not because he was lucky, but because he never gave up. Every night he had to stare at the ceiling, wondering if he was wasting his life chasing a vision no one else saw. But guess what? He didn't fold. He didn't cry for help. He didn't sit around blaming society. He went to war with himself. He sharpened his body, mastered his mind, disciplined his emotions, and became a fucking machine. He lost sleep. He took beatings in the ring. He watched people walk away because they couldn't handle his ambition. And through it all, he never broke. While the world told him to conform, to be quiet, to sit the fuck down and be grateful, he rose. He stood louder, worked harder, spoke clearer. He knew pain was the tax you pay for greatness. And when everyone else quit, he kept swinging. When he got banned, he doubled his influence. When they tried to bury him, he grew stronger. Why? Because he knew that the only way to win is to be unstoppable. That the only way to change your life is to suffer willingly. And that's what none of these soft, entitled, dopamine-addicted people understand. If you want to be free, you need to earn it. Tate wasn't born with a silver spoon. He was born into pressure. And he turned that pressure into diamonds. You can sit and hate him all you want, but hate doesn't build empires. Discipline does. Sacrifice does. Repetition does. You need to suffer. You need to bleed for your dreams. You need to live like a fucking monk while the world partied, because the world will never reward the average man. You think you'll succeed by scrolling TikTok and praying for miracles? Get real. Success doesn't come to the emotional, the lazy, the easily offended. It comes to the one who pushes when he's exhausted, studies when he's broke, trains when he's sore, and works when he's hated. And he did all that with the fear of Allah in his heart, knowing the world can give and take, but real strength comes from obeying your creator and becoming the man he designed you to be. Tate wasn't trying to become a god. He was trying to become a warrior who submits to God while conquering this dunya. That's the path. That's the blueprint. You have to go through hell to build heaven on earth. And that's why your struggle matters. That's why you need to get up every day and stop feeling sorry for yourself. No one is coming to save you. No one owes you shit. You want freedom? Earn it. You want respect? Prove you deserve it. You want wealth? Create value? You want power? Build discipline. Shut the fuck up with the excuses. Get out of bed, get out of your comfort zone, and go build the life you dream about. The same fire that nearly destroyed him is the fire that made him invincible. And if you're willing to walk through that same fire without flinching, without crying, without running, then you can do it too. That's how men are built. That's how kings are made. Through scars, through silence, through silence, through silence, through solitude, through relentless work when the world is watching, and especially when it's not. There was a time when Andrew Tate was broke, invisible, walking through life like a ghost in a world that didn't give a fuck whether he lived or died. He sat in his freezing flat in Luton, no heating, eating rice and ketchup because that's all he could afford. No one believed in him. No one gave him a handout. No mentor, no guidance, nothing but 4 gray walls and a cold floor. And instead of crying like a victim, he sat down and said, "Good, let's go to war." While everyone else was out partying, laughing, wasting their youth, Tate was in the trenches, learning chess moves, sharpening his mind, fighting in kickboxing rings where one mistake could mean a broken jaw, pushing through pain, defeat, betrayal, starvation, loneliness. He knew success wasn't coming with hope. It was coming with scars. He worked like a lunatic. Every day, pain in his bones, chaos in his mind, but clarity in his soul. He knew where he was going. He knew Allah doesn't test the weak. He sends struggle to those he wants to make strong. Every betrayal, every fake friend, every time he was laughed at for thinking bigger, every night he lay in bed broke and alone. That was the fire forging a king. And still, no one saw the battles. People only saw the result. The cars, the confidence, the status. But they missed the war. They missed the part where he built his body in cold gyms at 6 a.m., where he took beatings and still stood up, where he lost money, lost sleep, but never lost vision. The world hated him before it respected him. They canceled him, called him names, labeled him dangerous, but he kept going. Why? Because he wasn't living for their fucking approval. He was living for freedom, not just for himself, but to wake other men up, to remind them what it means to struggle with honor, to suffer with purpose. And while the cowards cry and hide behind comfort, the real ones rise. Not because it's easy, because they don't want to die ordinary. And you, reading this, you've got the same opportunity, the same blood, the same clock ticking. But you waste it on comfort, on excuses, on fear of being judged. Wake up. Use every fucking struggle as fuel. Because nobody's coming to save you. Nobody cares about your feelings. Life is hard. So what? Make yourself harder. Learn, work, fight, fail, repeat. Do it again. 10 years if you have to, but never quit. Because the only path out of the pit is through it. And when you finally make it, and you will, those who doubted you will act like they always believed. But you'll know. You'll remember the cold nights, the silence, the tears you never let fall, and you'll smile. Not because it was easy, but because you earned it like a fucking warrior. All praise to Allah for giving you the pain that made you strong. There was a point in Andrew Tate's life where everything was against him. No wealth, no recognition, no help, no comfort. He wasn't born into privilege, he was born into struggle. Cold flats, no heating, cheap food, betrayal from friends, a world that spit in his face and told him he was nothing. And that's where most men break. That's where the average man gives up and fades into mediocrity forever. But not Tate. He understood early that pain is the only honest teacher in a world full of lies. Every single punch he took in the ring, every time his jaw got rattled, every time he got dropped and had to peel himself off the canvas with blood in his mouth, those were the days that built the beast. Every fucking morning when it was freezing and dark and the rest of the world was sleeping, he was training, lifting, fighting, plotting, learning. No time for Netflix, no time for weak friends, no time to feel sorry for himself. He embraced the pain. He thanked Allah for the hardship because he knew the fire was there to purify him. While most men prayed for comfort, he prayed for more struggle because comfort breeds weakness and struggle builds legacy. People look at him now and see money, see cars, see status, see power, but they don't see the fucking war that came before. They don't see the nights he spent broke, alone, abandoned, humiliated, called crazy, called toxic, called dangerous. They canceled him, tried to erase him from the world, labeled him everything because the truth he spoke shook their fragile illusions. But the real ones, the strong men, they listened. And he kept moving forward, unshaken, unbroken, unafraid, because he had already faced hell and survived. He didn't care about validation. He didn't care about likes or applause. He cared about becoming a weapon, a man forged in fire, a walking example that masculinity, discipline, self-respect, and belief in Allah will carry you through every storm. He didn't make excuses. He didn't whine when things were unfair. He adapted, he evolved, and he fucking dominated. And if you think success is going to come to you by scrolling on your phone, by complaining, by giving up every time it hurts, you're fucking delusional. You need to bleed for it. You need to suffer for it. You need to work when you're tired, train when you're broken, learn when you're lost, and stand tall when the whole world tells you to kneel. Because there's no prize without pain, no strength without sacrifice, no empire without isolation. And when the world turns its back on you, remember that even the prophet, peace be upon him, was hated by his people before they accepted the truth. So what makes you think your path will be easy? You want to be respected? Build yourself. Build your mind, your body, your money, your faith, your purpose. The haters will laugh. Let them. The lazy ones will mock you. Let them. Because the day you break free, the day you rise out of the mud and stand tall with fire in your eyes and no fear in your heart, that's the day they'll regret every word. And you'll smile. You'll look back at every fucking tear, every sleepless night, every moment of doubt, and you'll thank Allah for every bit of it. Because it wasn't punishment. It was preparation. You weren't being buried. You were being planted. And now it's time to rise. You think success just falls into your fucking lap? You think you'll become something great by wishing, scrolling, and daydreaming while the rest of the world gets up and fucking works? Let me break this shit down for you. Success is built in silence in cold rooms with no applause, no claps, no likes, no one checking for you, and no one giving a single fuck about your pain. It's built when you're broke, tired, and still getting up to do what weak men refuse to do. Tate didn't get here because of luck. He got here because he made a vow with himself. No matter how much it hurt, no matter who turned on him, no matter how many fucking times he got knocked down, he would not stay there. He watched people who were close to him laugh behind his back, mock his ambition, talk shit, and disappear when things got hard. And did he cry? Did he beg? Did he fold? No. He cut them the fuck off and kept going. He trained harder, he read more, he fought more. He studied the game when everyone else was sleeping or partying or wasting their lives on bullshit. While the average man was focused on pleasure, Tate was focused on purpose. When his bank account was zero and the world turned cold, he sharpened his blade and kept marching forward. No daddy's money, no handouts, no safety net, just war, just hunger, just brutal consistency. And through all the darkness, he remembered Allah is the only one who truly sees the grind. And when you have Allah and you back your belief with relentless fucking action, the world eventually folds to you. Not because it's easy, but because you refuse to give in. The reason most men stay weak is because they run the moment it hurts, they hide the second they're challenged, they crave acceptance from the same people who would never bleed for them. But legends, real men, they choose the pain. They welcome the isolation. They would rather walk alone with fire in their chest than kneel with cowards in comfort. And when you finally make it, when the money comes, the body is sharp, the mind is dangerous, and your name echoes in places it was once laughed at. Don't forget that it came from the struggle. That pain was your fuel. That doubt was your weapon. That silence was your training ground. And that every prayer you made, every sacrifice you kept to yourself was answered. Not because you begged the world, but because you proved to Allah you were worthy. So keep your head down, keep working, and don't fucking stop. The world isn't owed to you. You take it through pain, prayer, and persistence. That's how Tate made it. That's how you make it too. Let me tell you something no one else will. The world doesn't give a single fuck about your excuses. You wake up tired? Too bad. Your body hurts? Too bad. You're sad? Too bad. No one cares. Life is out here handing you pain, and if you want something that no one can take away, you've got to take it. And you take it by working when everyone else is sleeping. You take it by sacrificing your comfort, your desires, your time, and your energy. The average man will give up after a setback. He'll fold when he doesn't see results immediately. He'll whine, complain, and blame his circumstances. But you don't get to complain. You don't get to sit around and wish the world was different. You don't get to wait for motivation. You get up and you grind because you want more than mediocrity. You want freedom. You want to be powerful. You want respect. But respect isn't given. Respect is earned through action, through blood, sweat, and endless sacrifice. Andrew Tate didn't get to where he is by being comfortable. He didn't get to the top by waiting for the perfect opportunity. He fought in the dirt, lost sleep, ate scraps, was laughed at, rejected, and abandoned. But he kept going. And so should you. Stop fucking waiting for people to believe in you. Stop asking for validation. The world won't stop for you to catch up. Your success won't be handed to you. You have to earn every inch, every second, every moment. You need to go to war with yourself every day. Every single day is a battle against laziness, doubt, weakness, and fear. Don't let the world shape you into what it wants. You shape yourself. You control your fate. Stop listening to the weak, to the ones who laugh when you start chasing something bigger. Let them laugh. Let them mock you. They don't see the fire in your heart, the hunger in your chest. They don't see what you're willing to sacrifice to become something more. And that's why they'll always stay behind, because they care too much about comfort. They care too much about fitting in. But you are not born to fit in. You are born to rise above. You were created for greatness. You are meant to conquer the challenges that are set before you. Every hardship, every struggle is a stepping stone to greatness. And if you ever doubt your strength, if you ever feel like giving up, just remember, Allah is with you. You keep pushing, not for the fame, not for the money, but because it's the path you've chosen, and every choice you make matters. Every time you grind, every time you sacrifice, every time you do what others won't, it matters. You do it for the future you, the one who will be unrecognizable to the man you were yesterday. So get off your ass. Stop waiting for a sign. You are the sign. You are the one who will prove everyone wrong. You are the one who will rise. You will succeed because you don't know how to quit. Because quitting isn't an option. Because you're not soft. You're a warrior. Now get to work.